Here we go, back at it yet again with another video. G'day guys, I'm Champ Chong, and if you want to see me dunk a basketball, dunk a basketball, make sure you smack that like button real good. And if we end up getting enough likes, I may actually do a dunking video to celebrate the 2019 FIBA Basketball World Cup. Now, just before we do get to today's gaming video, you guys know I'm a massive basketball fan, and well, there's only 100 days left until the FIBA 2019 Basketball World Cup, which will be in China. I'm super excited for this as my country, Australia, is competing and we have a really strong squad this time around. I think Australia is seriously good enough to possibly win it all and win the Naismith Trophy, but then again, there's that amazing Team USA squad with all of those incredible players, which means it'll be pretty tough. But we've got some incredible players too, including my buddy Ben Simmons, who can hopefully take us all the way to the trophy. And as you can tell, I've got a couple of his jerseys. You can see back here, yep. I'm a pretty big fan. Now, I'm actually a bit of a basketball player myself. I'm not good enough to represent my country, but I do stand at 6'4" and a fridge-sized 105 kilograms. Now, if you do need a reference as to how big I am at 6'4", I'm basically one Brienne of Tarth or two Tyrion Lannisters. Now, I may not be good enough to play for Australia at the World Cup in China, but I'm good enough to sink a few shots at my local rec center, or more realistically, brick shots when the pressure's on and when I'm wide open. That's just me, I'm sorry. But anyway, in 100 days from now, I will be cheering on Australia at the FIBA Basketball World Cup because Australia's got game, and make sure to check out the link in the description. Seriously, check it out down below because I can't wait to see what Australia can do at the Basketball World Cup. I'm super excited. Hopefully we can raise the trophy because that'll bring that'll bring a tear to my eye. But anyway, let's get to today's gaming video. And it's some more gaming news regarding the PlayStation 5. Yes, we've got more PS5 news, and according to developers, the PS5 specs look amazing. The Zen 2 CPU will bring it close to the PC. Now, this is just one development studio of many that have come out and said this, but recently, Okamotive developers talked about the exploration adventure title Far Lone Sails, which launched on the PC last year, but recently came out on the PS4 and Xbox One last month. But now they're speaking about the PS5 and its technology, and they basically stated that it is incredible. From what they've seen so far, and from what we've seen so far, they've stated it's amazing. They do wonder what the price point will end up being though as a result of such great technology in the system. Now, on top of that news, we've also got to talk about EA. Yes, Electronic Arts is actually showcasing next generation hair rendering. So basically, this is giving us somewhat of a glimpse into the next gen graphics, and you guys can see this on screen right here. This is EA and DICE. They've released some videos, and basically we are seeing hair rendering in next gen systems and what it would be like on PC at basically like max settings potentially. This is part of the Frostbite engine from DICE and EA, so we are getting pretty damn close to realism right here. It is getting really exciting. It's just exciting times to see stuff like this starting to come out. This is just teasing all of us gamers out there going, hey, this is potentially what you guys could be getting in PS5 and next Xbox graphics. So it's really exciting times. I'm just excited that we're actually seeing stuff right now, and it's just really cool. So if you want to actually check out that video, plus there's actually a few of those videos from DICE, you can check that out down below in the description. It's definitely worth checking out, especially if you're excited for next gen stuff, but that's not all the next gen stuff we're talking about in today's video. We've got more. Yes, we are still talking about the PlayStation 5 and more development and everything like that. So we're talking about backwards compatibility in our next news report, and it's actually coming from the PlayStation CEO. He states that it is extremely powerful for the PlayStation 5. It seems that PlayStation is making backwards compatibility a key focus for their next gen system, the PlayStation 5, and here are some interesting points to note down. Talking about backward compatibility for the next gen console, the key point for Ryan is that in a network era, backwards compatibility is something that's extremely powerful as the game community is somewhat tribal in its nature, and backwards compatibility gives them the opportunity to migrate from the PlayStation 4 to the next gen, the PlayStation 5, while they will still be able to play their older games with their existing friends. Sony expects that backwards compatibility will be a critical success factor for its next generation consoles, and thinks it's incredibly important. They actually talked quite a lot in this article about many other things, including the gaming market in China, which is huge, and they want to kind of tap into that. Any game company, any company wants to tap into that because there are billions of people there. And then on top of that, they also did talk about a few other key things, including that long-term potential relationship that they might have with Xbox and Microsoft, to be specific, but that's just basically a memorandum right now that they signed. There's no real relationship going on right now, but it is exciting times to see Sony, Microsoft doing things together. You see, especially now, Sony coming out and just basically laying everything on the table going, these are some of our specs with the PlayStation 5. This is what we think we want with the PlayStation 5, and this is where we have our plans going in the next 2 to 5 years. So it's exciting to see it different this time around. It used to be a lot more secretive. It was a lot more secrecy involved with everything back on the last generation going into this current generation. But going from this current generation to that next generation, it's just a lot more open, and I kind of like that because it gives us more of an idea what to expect in a year or 2 years from now whenever the next console comes out. But one of the key things that we will need in that next generation, like we had in this generation of consoles, is exclusive games, exclusive titles to make you want to buy that specific console. They need to actually create games. It doesn't matter about exclusivity per se, but just games. You need really, really good games like The Last of Us, like Uncharted, like Gran Turismo, like anything along those lines that is PlayStation based, even Spider-Man or God of War. You know, you need games like that. On an Xbox side of things, you need Forza, you need Gears, you need Halo, or that next generation of those types of Xbox games. You need those games to hook people in, give them a reason to purchase a console, and that's what they're going to need. And that's actually the next final thing I will talk about, which they talked about in this article. And it's that Sony is going to invest in first-party studios through organic growth and acquisitions for the PlayStation 5. So similar to what you may have actually seen with Microsoft at E3 last year, they basically came out and said, okay, you know all these game studios? Well, we've bought them now, and they're part of Xbox and Microsoft. Sony seems to be going along that same path. They're going to purchase a lot more game studios. So for example, if you think back to 2011, Sony purchased Sucker Punch, and then they created the infamous series, which is just awesome. On top of just acquiring new game studios, Sony also wants to build on what they currently have. So for example, Santa Monica Studios, it's an organic growth. It started as a smaller studio, and then Sony kept building and building and building, and they've created incredible games since then. So it's going to be exciting to see what they actually do with the studios, who they end up purchasing and acquiring and adding to the Sony family, similar to what Microsoft has done with many indie game studios and many medium-sized game studios. So it's definitely exciting times. I know I've said that a million times, but I am excited. What can I say? It's the next gen, it's right around the corner, and it's going to be a big next 18 months until we see the launch of these new consoles. But anyway, guys, hopefully you did end up enjoying this gaming news video. If you did, please smack that like button as always. And also, if you are a brand new viewer, make sure you click subscribe. And if you're already subscribed and you're just wondering where's Champ's videos, you have to have that notification bell on, guys. You have to make sure it's on. And if you've just clicked subscribe, make sure the notification bell is on. But anyway, guys, that's it for today's video. I didn't want to do 2 back-to-back next generation videos. I've got something else planned, but I didn't get that video done in time. And then there was all this news I had to cover, so it is there. So anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed it. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.